Stop scrolling for a second and ask yourself this. Why do some women seem to silently test you? And only the men who notice win their attention? Here's the harsh truth most men over 50 never hear. Women rarely flirt in ways you expect. They don't laugh too loudly. They don't shower you with compliments. They don't chase. They watch. Quietly. Calculating. Waiting. Measuring whether you can. Notice the subtle signals that separate a man who can connect from a man who misses the moment entirely. Women move differently around you. They refuse to look desperate. They refuse to appear too available. They refuse to hand you attraction on a silver plate. So instead of bold signals, they use precision. Instead of direct confessions, they use questions. And here's what most men never figure out. When a woman feels genuine attraction toward an older man, she almost always asks two extremely specific questions. 2. They're not random. They're not casual. They are coded, hidden in plain sight. And if you miss them, the moment disappears. But before I break them down, do something for me. Hit the like button. And in the comments, tell me if you've ever realized too late that a woman was giving you signals you completely misunderstood. Your engagement pushes this message toward men who are still walking through life blind to what's right in front of them. Now listen carefully. A lot of men over 50 carry a quiet belief. I'm invisible now. Invisible to younger women. Invisible even to women their own age. That belief is wrong. In fact, many men become more attractive in their 50s than they ever were in their 30s. Once they understand how feminine psychology truly works. The problem isn't women. The problem is misreading them. It's assuming she was just being friendly when she was actually cracking the door open. It's answering her questions like they were small talk, when they were invitations. Women rarely express attraction in bold, direct statements. They don't usually say, I'm attracted to you. They don't say, I want to be closer to you. They don't admit, I've been thinking about you romantically. They explore. They test your emotional steadiness, your presence, your awareness. They watch for subtle shifts in how you respond. Feminine psychology operates beneath the surface. And the moment a woman begins to see you as someone she could trust emotionally, physically, intimately, her energy shifts. The interaction stops being casual. It becomes intentional curiosity. She starts asking questions designed to uncover 3 critical things. Your masculine strength. Are you grounded or insecure? Your emotional and practical availability. Is there space in your life? Your awareness. Can you recognize genuine interest when it appears? This is where the 2 essential questions emerge. But to truly understand why they matter, you have to understand the psychological truth behind them. Many men over 50 grew up in a time when communication was more straightforward. Attraction was clearer. Signals were easier to interpret. So they expect obvious signs. If you like the video, subscribe our channel. But modern women, even mature women, express desire differently. They don't declare it. They investigate it. They ask carefully crafted questions to determine whether you're a man they can move toward, without exposing themselves to rejection. Because here's the quiet feminine fear, especially with older men. If she shows too much interest too quickly, she risks looking needy. She risks feeling foolish. She risks being dismissed. So she disguises attraction as curiosity. She wraps desire inside questions that appear harmless to a man who isn't paying attention. And if you miss them, she rarely gives you another chance. Women almost never repeat the same emotional opening twice. Feminine psychology is layered. Men communicate attraction through action. When a man feels drawn to someone, he offers guidance, protection, support, direction. He leans in physically or practically. When a woman feels drawn to someone, she leans in psychologically. She asks a question that hints at closeness. There are dozens of questions women ask in everyday life, but only 2 show up consistently when she's gently exploring intimacy with a mature man. I'll reveal them in a moment. But first, understand this clearly. She is not interrogating you. She's not gathering data. She's feeling your emotional temperature. Is he calm? Is he steady? Is he open to my presence? Does he stand firmly in his masculine energy? Or does he hide behind politeness and distance? These questions are not about information. They are about connection. They create a subtle pull, an invisible bridge placed between you and her. She lays it down carefully, waiting to see if you step forward with awareness. And when you do, something shifts inside her. Most men respond to these questions literally. But a grounded, self-aware man hears what lives beneath the words. Because when she asks them, she's not collecting facts. She's checking alignment. She's checking awareness. She's checking whether you perceive what most men miss. When a woman feels drawn to you, she doesn't need proof of your income. She doesn't need stories about your strength. She doesn't need exaggerated accomplishments. She needs to feel that you are present, conscious, emotionally steady. That's why these two questions matter. They are not random curiosity. They are invitations. The first question she asks a man she desires is designed to reveal one thing: availability. Not your calendar. Your heart. She wants to sense whether there is emotional space for her in your world. It's psychological, not practical. It's her way of quietly asking, are you open or closed? Can you connect? Or are you hiding behind routine? If I move closer, will I be welcomed? Or gently pushed away? Women do not waste emotional energy. Before revealing deeper interest, they test for openness. This first question is the feminine version of a man leaning slightly closer to see if the woman leans in or pulls back. But most men completely miss it. They assume it's casual conversation. The second question reveals something deeper. It concerns direction. Not your job title, not your past achievements. Your inner direction. She wants to know if your life carries purpose, momentum, stability. Women do not open themselves to men who drift through life without anchor. They open themselves to men who are grounded. Men who know who they are. Men who understand where they stand. This question silently asks, is this man emotionally alive? Does he move with stability? Can I feel safe around him? Does he have boundaries? Or is he just existing? The second question isn't about surface details. It's about your core. And by the time she asks it, she has already imagined what closeness with you might feel like. Physical attraction may spark her interest, but emotional presence is what makes her move toward you. This question becomes her doorway into sensing your true masculine foundation. For men over 50, this matters deeply. By the time a man reaches his 50s or 60s, many women carry assumptions. They assume he's already lived most of his emotional life. They assume his world is already full. They assume they might become secondary. So they hesitate, unless they feel certain there's space. These two questions, soft, simple, almost invisible, are her way of checking. Is there room for me? Is this man moving with purpose? Or is he simply passing time? You might overlook compliments. You might miss body language. But if you fail to recognize these two questions, you miss the exact moment she opens the door. And once that door closes, most women do not reopen it. When a woman desires intimacy with an older man, not just conversation, not just friendliness, but emotional and physical closeness, she tests the connection with two specific questions. They appear across cultures, across ages, across backgrounds, because they come directly from feminine psychology. Here they are. The first question, do you spend a lot of time alone? It sounds innocent. It isn't. It translates to, is there space for me? Are you emotionally open? Or are you sealed off behind your habits? Would I feel welcomed in your world? Or like an intruder? She might phrase it differently. Do you usually go out by yourself? You seem like someone who enjoys solitude. Is that true? Are you seeing anyone lately or just focusing on yourself? Do you keep to yourself most of the time? This question is not about loneliness. It's about access. She only asks it after she has already pictured herself somewhere near your life. She wants to know whether entering your world would feel natural or resisted. Most men answer in flat, literal ways. Yeah, I'm alone a lot. Not really. It depends. But a steady, grounded man hears the subtext. She's testing openness. She's testing availability. She's testing whether closeness is possible. A powerful response sounds like, I value my independence, but I'm always open to the right company. Or, I enjoy my routines, but I'm open to something meaningful if it aligns. That tone carries warmth without neediness, strength without coldness. And when you respond that way, it naturally leads her to the second question, the one that reveals deeper desire. The second question, what are you looking for these days? This is never random, never small talk, never casual. It is evaluation. She might phrase it as, what direction are you heading in right now? What do you want at this stage of your life? What are you focused on lately? She's sensing your internal movement. Women do not emotionally open to men who wander aimlessly. They open to men who move with intention. When you answer with clarity, she feels possibility. When you answer with confusion, she withdraws. Because here's the truth most men over 50 never fully understand. Women don't crave perfection, they crave presence. These two questions measure exactly that. And once you learn to recognize them, you will never again sit there wondering whether she's interested. Before you leave, support the channel.